Well, hello, stargazers. This is Miss Jenny, and I am your astrologer, and this is the month of July 2021. I just want to say here for the record that I just did the entire July horoscope and did not have the record button on because, yeah. All right, rehearsal is over, so let's get on with the horoscopes. Okay, now, all right, so July 1st and July 2nd are hot dates this month. July 1st, we've got the quarter moon, which we knew was going to be a big day, and boy, has it ever. Jeez Louise, has it ever turned out to be a big day. And we knew that this quarter moon on the 1st was going to revisit issues related to the May eclipse, and we're definitely seeing a lot of that as well. Now, July 2nd is important because there are some decisions and communications and information that are going to come out into public view. They're going to be significantly important. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if things come out of the blue or left field, completely unexpected, that are extremely important and also represent not one but multiple. The branches on trees. There are multiple issues occurring around whatever this is that's related to the quarter moon that we're having today. So, as an example, because today is July 1st, and we're watching now as Weissenberg, the CFO for the Trump organization, getting arrested. So this is happening today, but what may happen by tomorrow is that we may find out that there are multiple branches on this tree that he is attached to or that he represents that are part of this. And the important thing is that it will all come out into public view. So it's that kind of a thing. So whatever is happening today, wherever you are, you're going to find that come tomorrow, there's a whole lot more attached to this that you didn't know, but we're definitely finding out about. So that will be interesting. Now, just so you know, July 1st through 7th, are we recording? Oh my God. July 1st through 7th, here's the thing I want you guys to keep in mind. Don't take anything too seriously and definitely double check everything you're getting. So what's happening is this whole first week of July, it's like everybody's got pieces of information. Everybody's got a piece of information. And many of these things are, in fact, accurate pieces of information. The problem is, it's like everybody's got a piece of information and they're all trying to put the puzzle pieces together, but they're putting the puzzle pieces together wrong. So we're not getting a clear picture. Nothing's making any sense. So keep that in mind with any information you're getting right now. There's a whole lot of information floating around that are parts of a puzzle, but the puzzle is not being put together correctly. So nothing is going to make sense when you look at it, as part of a bigger picture. It will happen, but this week is not the week. There's a whole lot of stuff coming from all different directions where everybody's got like a little piece of information to add to the puzzle. But in order for it to make sense, we've got to be able to put the puzzle together, right? Now, when we get down to July 9th, and this is kind of an important date, right? So July 9th through 12th, this whole band through the month is going to be a very, very dynamic. It's going to be a very dynamic week. So on July 9th, we've got the new moon at 18 Cancer that's going to oppose Pluto. This particular new moon, even though it's not exact to Pluto, it's still there. And Moon and Pluto have a sympathetic relationship to each other. They understand each other. So with the new moon opposing Pluto, there's a lot of deep, unconscious impulses that are happening, a lot of things that are coming to the surface. So many of you who are very sensitive and have dreams, right, and these gut instincts and all this unconscious stuff that you can't put words to, it's really going to be active around this new moon. So listen to what you're feeling. All right, listen to your feelings at this time, because there's important things there bubbling up to the surface. From July 10th to 17th, now as this is happening, of course, Venus is moving in the conjunction with Leo. Now the thing about that is that with Venus and Mars coming together in Leo, I must have misspoke. Venus conjuncts Mars and Leo at the same time, or right on the heels of this new moon. Now, with a new moon opposing Pluto and that Venus-Mars conjunction in Leo, some things that we can expect and we should watch out for is a very heightened, not necessarily urge to merge, but there's going to be this, for many people, there will be this sense that there's like love at first sight, or this but it's not really love at first sight as much as it's a karmic memory. This aha, I know you from somewhere. That gut instinct, like, I need to know this person. There's going to be a lot of that happening around these days, around that new moon. So July 9th through actually the 17th. We're going to take it all the way to the 17th, but you'll feel it the most closer to the 9th. This whole week, this whole 7 days, there's going to be a whole lot of gut-driven kind of attractions to people. Now, if you are actively looking for someone, this could be a good thing. If you're not actively looking for someone because you're otherwise committed, this could be a bad thing. Also, too, even if single or otherwise committed, if this is still a good idea in your mind, remember, too, because so much of this is compulsive, like on a very deep gut level, there's also the potential for people to become obsessive about things. I must know you. I must own you. Sorry, I don't mean to scare people, but, the whole stalkerish kind of, obsessive, I must have you, is more emphasized at this time. So for those of you who like to live dangerously, understand this is not the time to play with people. This is not the time to play with people. As flattering and entertaining, sorry, I've got the fan blowing the hair on my face. As flattering and entertaining as it might be to have somebody who's consumed by you, right? This particular week, when this kicks up, these are not people that are going to let go easily. And, inviting stalkers into your life, inviting people to have nervous breakdowns around you because, if I can't have you, I'm going to die. All this like over the top psych emotional stuff. That's not a good game to play. And you could easily get a lot more hurt than you think you're going to. So don't play with people. Do not play with people. During this time, because Pluto's involved, and because Leo, contrary to popular belief, everybody's all about, Leo's about the ego. Leo is about character and integrity, right? The noblesse oblige, the noble obligation. So with a heavy emphasis in Leo, one of the things, and if you genuinely know Leo people, right? One of the things that you know is that a code of honor is very important to them. So with this particular combination, with this new moon opposing Pluto and this Venus-Mars conjunction in Leo as it's passing through from the 10th to the 17th, integrity, character, pride, principles, these are the things that are extremely important at this time, because if you don't play by the golden rule, right, and do the right things by other people, if you don't do right by other people and you totally take advantage of this and use this for your own personal entertainment because you're the worst kind of scallywag, I got news for you. Pluto will wreak havoc and vengeance on your life. So you will get exactly what you deserve for playing with people like that. Just saying. You are warned. Okay. Now, here's the date I want you guys to circle. Sorry, making sure I'm recording. I don't want to have to do this 3 times. Here's the date I want you to circle on your calendar, July 12th. July 12th. And remember, with all of these dates, always give me 24 hours on either side of it because of time zones, time differences, and also, like, I'm doing this on the fly for 1 million people on the planet, or billions of people on the planet. So we've got a 24-hour leeway on either side of these dates. Okay. Sorry. Okay, July 12th. Now, woo-wee doggy, July 12th. What a day. Holy cow. So this particular day, we've got a huge T-square happening. So we've got Saturn-Uranus square, remember the Stonebreaker, involving Venus and Mars, which is now activating and setting up a T-square. Remember, the T-square, the leg of the T-square is always the amplifier. Well, guess what the leg of this T-square is? It's Uranus. And Uranus is the planet of truth and shock and surprise, as well as explosions, right? Explosive truth. So and we've got some other stuff involving Venus, Mars, and Uranus. Like, this is a potent day with this particular combination of aspects. So one of the things that I would say is that we can expect some major revelations and truth bombs to explode into existence around this time. Oh my God. And this particular day also pulls in that May 19-degree Gemini eclipse, which is also about information and truth and confidential stuff, right? Documents, things of that nature. So the man on the street, reporters, observe and report. So this July 12th, man, make a big star around it. That's a big day. So At the same time that this is happening, we've got Mercury going in Cancer. Now, here's how this is playing out, right? So the first thing is, as Mercury leaves Gemini and goes into Cancer, there's a couple of things you should know about these two particular signs, right? So here's what Gemini and Cancer have in common. Mercury in Gemini and Mercury in Cancer are both snoops. Yes, you heard me, snoops. Sneaky pusses, the ones who like to rifle through other people's stuff, like, go through their phone when the other person's not looking, like go through their drawers, go through their documents. They like to see all the stuff that you're not sharing with them voluntarily. You know who you are. Don't lie. We know. Everybody blames Mercury and Scorpio for that stuff. You two, Gemini and Cancer, Mercury and Gemini and Cancer, oh my God, you make Scorpios look like amateurs someday, because where Mercury and Scorpio will do it for a specific purpose and are looking for specific things, right? And typically only when triggered. Mercury and Scorpio only start snooping when you've done something that sets off their radar and like, wait a minute, what are you hiding from me? Then they launch their, full-scale FBI investigation, right? Their forensic investigation. Gemini and Cancer, on the other hand, Mercury and Gemini, Mercury and Cancer. I know there's people out there right now listening to this that are going to be really mad at me because I just told on them. So welcome to astrology. We all get told on. Mercury in Gemini and Mercury in Cancer will go through your stuff just because it's there. And it's Tuesday and it's 3:00 and they got nothing better to do. Literally, they can't help themselves. Now, here's the thing, though, and that's what's the same, and here's what's different. With Mercury in Gemini is the reporter of the zodiac, right? It is the man on the street, this just in, news report. That's Gemini. So that means that they don't really have a very discriminating sense of who they're sharing their information with. I mean, they kind of do sort of, but mostly it's about what entertains them. So with Mercury and Gemini, they're absolutely the person who will be sitting at a bus stop with a complete stranger and will share with a stranger at the bus stop what they just found in your belongings, because they just can't keep it in. They got to tell somebody, right? So they're not necessarily the most discriminating. They just observe and report. That's Gemini. Cancer, on the other hand, hangs on to things, and it's very secretive. So with Cancer, they like to hold this stuff. They like to play those cards close to their chest, just in case they need them later, right? And I'm telling you, man, you guys thought it was Scorpio. So Cancer will snoop through and rifle through your stuff just to see what's in there. They won't tell you they've done it, right? And they'll keep secret to themselves that they found something. They won't even tell you, but they'll hang on to that information about you until it's time to play that card. So Mercury in Cancer is much more discriminating about when and what they share their findings with, and always if it benefits them, because it is a cardinal sign. So Mercury moving into Cancer at the time that these truth bombs are exploding with this T-square we just talked about on July 12th, Saturn, Uranus, Venus, Mars, Uranus heavily emphasized and pulling in the 19-degree Gemini eclipse on this date. I'm going to bet you good money that these truth bombs that explode around this time are literally a result of people selectively and very specifically deciding which pieces of information they're going to share, knowing what's going to happen, right? So literally they're just kind of, lobbing hand grenades out there, knowing exactly what's going to happen when the hand grenade lands. Hand grenades of truth. This also means, my friends, pay attention. This also means that whatever it is that we're getting now, that's like, whoa, wait, what? Where did that come from? There's more. Because Mercury in Cancer will not give you everything. They'll just give you little bits and pieces. So if Mercury goes into Cancer and we get all these truth bombs lobbed across the fence or across the net at the opposing players, that means that whoever's lobbing this information, there's more. They're just hanging on to the rest until it better suits them. July 12th. Mark your calendars. Woohoo! Sorry. Okay, now, this takes us into the second half of the month. So the thing about July is there are two distinct parts of the month. So there's the first part of the month, and there's the last part of the month. The first part of the month is pretty busy, but it's still fairly light and fluffy and good, and people are enjoying your socialization and doing your thing and being out and about. Now, the other thing I just want to point out to you is that with this T-square on July 12th, one of the most important things for us individually is that at this time, assuming that you're not the one hurling, like lobbing truth grenades at other people, At this time, the real demand, because of this T-square, is going to be what's good for me versus what's good for the group, right? Selfishness and selfish thinking and selfish priorities at this time will take a huge karmic penalty when time comes for payment on this. So if you have a choice of doing something that's inconvenient for you but good for the group, inconvenience yourself. That's the best way to protect yourself from future problems. God, so gray. If you are all about yourself, which is entirely possible, this emphasis on Leo, there's a whole lot of people that are just loving themselves right now, and that's okay. Just the timing could be better, right? And there are better ways to love yourself that don't involve endangering other people. So with that said, people who are really loving themselves to the point that they don't care about how this impacts other people are really going to have a heavy, heavy price to pay very shortly after this. Now, an example of what I'm talking about, right, as we're going through this month, one of the things that's happening as of now, July 1st, it's July 1st right now, they are talking about the Delta variant of the coronavirus. Now, there are people out there who absolutely want to convince themselves that the pandemic is over, because the politicians said so. Politicians who have no medical or science background have decided that the pandemic's over, therefore it must be over. This is like my plumber telling me, that my electrical wiring is fine. What the hell does my plumber know? He's not an electrician, right? What does a politician know? They're not scientists or doctors. And even some of the doctors are a little like that woman down in Missouri. Anyway, the pandemic is not over, and we now have a Delta variant of the virus floating around that is growing in numbers. Now, we also know the only way to get the virus to not spread and to actually go into obsolescence or just disappear is by not feeding it. And the way we not feed a virus is by not sharing it, okay, not transmitting it. Which means that unfortunately we should be wearing our masks again just a little while longer to try and keep the Delta variant of the coronavirus from spreading and becoming even more of a problem than the original mutations. So the thing about it, though, is at this time, especially around July 12th, as we start getting into the month, people are going to want to party. They want to socialize. They want to go out. They want to feel good. They want to go get their little, oh, well, hello, baby. Like Venus-Mars thing going on, which is all a beautiful thing. But some people are going to forget that while you're doing all of that, you can still be responsible about it, right? So if you're not vaccinated, you should be wearing a mask, obviously. If you are vaccinated, it might not be a bad idea just to wear a mask just in case if you're not sure about the people around you. If people don't do that, and this is just an example, right? If people choose not to do that and choose not to wear masks and all this sort of stuff, knowing or hearing that there's a possibility that the greater good, the people around them, could be negatively impacted by this virus because it's being transmitted and shared. And basically that's how you feed a virus. You share it with other people. And they still choose to not behave in ways to protect other people, then the result is huge, heavy karmic penalties that come with this very quickly after. So they can end up getting very, very sick themselves. And with the Delta variant, we don't know how bad it is or what to expect from it because it's new, right? Or somebody they love could end up getting really, really sick with the coronavirus, the Delta variant, and maybe not surviving it. There's a lot of things that could play out as a result of it, but these are all heavy consequences that could have been avoided if we had acted responsibly towards the people around us. So while you're out and about, understand that this is a very important time, especially around the 12th, to be mindful of, is this an inconvenience for me but benefits the group, and protects them, or is this really a hardship for me and nobody's going to get hurt? Just saying. Okay, so where were we? Oh, right. So the second half of July, now we're into, we're on time. Now we're heading into the second half of July. Now we do have a week in here where it's peaceful and it's quiet and we don't have a whole lot of weird stuff going on. Thank God, right? And that will be from the 12th to the 17th. So for those of you who are looking for a break, maybe the 13th. All right. So, all right. So it's a couple days. It's not a whole week. It's a couple days. There's a couple days, like the 15th and the 16th, where it's going to be kind of nice and quiet. So enjoy those days. This isn't to say that the rest of the month is going to be complete chaos, but the month is moving fast because Mercury is going to move through 3 signs before we enter August. It's going to go from Cancer to Leo to Virgo inside of a month. And we've got 4 lunations happening this month. Five lunations happening in the calendar month of July. So this is a fast-moving month. So, a couple days might seem like a blink of an eye when we get there, but listen, it's better than nothing. And it's not all bad, it's just fast-moving. Okay, so July 17th. On July 17th, we have a quarter moon at 25 Libra. Now, this particular quarter moon is good and interesting and powerful, because it's going to set up a T-square to Pluto. Now, there are some people who would say, oh, Pluto, that can't be good. And normally I might be inclined to agree with you because Pluto is not exactly a lightweight here, right? It's like a boxing match between a senior in high school and who is the heavyweight boxer? Mayweather? Oh my God. Anyway, sorry. It's like a boxing match between a human being and King Kong. However, this particular quarter moon is a juicy, wonderful full moon, or quarter moon, because it will involve the fixed star Arcturus. And this fixed star Arcturus involving Pluto is going to amplify everything because it's a T-square, right? So, for those of you who have planets or the ascendant or midheaven between 22 and 29 of the cardinal signs, Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, you will receive the benefit from this quarter moon. You'll certainly be feeling it. And what this quarter moon is going to do is going to open a window. It's going to open a window. There will be a window that opens for success, and a window of opportunity that's going to open up that leads to success if you take advantage of it and you play your cards right. So pay attention. It's happening. There's big stuff happening here. This now also too, if you're not carrying planets at those degrees in the cardinal signs, this does not mean that you will miss the opportunity. We'll all be receiving benefit from this. With other folks, this particular T-square involving Pluto and the fixed star Arcturus, one of the things that you should know that's very important about this is this quarter moon is going to change the playing field. So the benefits you see coming from this may come later, but everybody's getting it because this quarter moon is going to literally turn the game board over, and we're going to start all over again. Brand new game, brand new rules. So it will be good. It will be good, and it will be interesting. So be prepared for it. And for those of you who carry planets of those late degrees of cardinal signs, absolutely keep your eye out for how this might benefit you. As this quarter moon is occurring, this is the days from the 17th to 23rd. As this quarter moon is occurring, some other things that are happening at the same time. Venus is now peeling away like a race car from Mars. So Venus is taking the lead and literally pulling Mars in the direction she wants Mars to go. So Venus will enter Virgo on the 22nd, with Mars following at the end of the month. At the same time, on July 19th, Jupiter will enter zero Pisces. So it's not, So it's not necessarily the 19th when Jupiter changes signs that we want to watch as much as the 22nd, because at that point, Venus and Jupiter will be moving into a relationship with each other. So the things that they promise together is really going to like gears falling into place. Like the Venus and Jupiter will fall into place like gears and click in, and now the wheel is going to start turning. So with that said, and this is why this is important, this whole process of Venus and Virgo, right, with Jupiter and Pisces, but especially Venus and Virgo pulling Mars in behind it, directing Mars where it wants to go, is setting up for the month of August. And here's what's happening. When Venus goes into Virgo, one of the things that's going to happen is it's kind of like dotting all your I's and crossing your T's and double checking, triple checking, quadruple checking things to make sure they're exactly right. So if you could imagine that you are about to do a space launch with a rocket, like you don't just like ignite and let it go. There's a whole lot of precise, careful, detail-oriented, double checking, triple checking, quadruple checking, quality control inspecting, like, okay, now let's do it again just to be sure before anybody ever goes near the launch button. So with Saturn and Uranus, we know that this is the stonebreaker, right? So this whole month is very much about like breaking the back of a dragon. And when we talk about Saturn and Uranus as the stonebreaker, and the experience of it being a lot like having to get to the other side of a mountain, right? So we've got a mountain in front of us. We cannot go over the mountain, we cannot go around the mountain, and we cannot go under the mountain. The only way to the other side of that mountain is through it. And the only way to go through that mountain is if we blast a tunnel through there, which is a very, very careful, controlled, specific operation. Because if we do it wrong, if we miscalculate, if we don't double, triple, quadruple check, and then do it again with quality control inspection, just to make absolutely sure that mountain's going to collapse on top of us. And we will not only not have gotten to the other side of that mountain, we will have created an obstacle that will permanently keep us from getting to the other side of that mountain. That is what is happening as we move towards August. Double check, triple check, quadruple check, quality control inspection, just to make sure. Let's do it again and check those calculations before we ever go near a launch button or a detonate button. So the second half of July is very much about getting it right, cleaning up, getting into the details, making sure we've got everything exactly where it needs to be, because we've only got one shot to get through this mountain. Because if we don't make it through in this one shot, this will be the end of it forever. Like, there will never be another opportunity to get through. We cannot undo the damage we do, and we cannot accomplish the purpose of getting to the other side of the mountain if we screw this up. That getting to the other side of the mountain is going to be on the other side of August. Right now, we're doing all the prep work to get us there. So this is what we're dealing with in the second half of July. Very, very high intensity, supercharged, laser focused period of time. It's going to be wonderful. Well, for those of you who like Virgo energy, it's going to be wonderful. Now, for you in your personal life, what you may find is that as we get closer to the second half of July, around the 17th, when Venus goes into Virgo, is that you may suddenly feel the need to do housekeeping. You may suddenly feel the desire to do spring cleaning. Like, I don't know where this is coming from, but okay, let's just, we don't need this, don't need that. Why is this here? Like the whole sort, give away, throw out kind of process. We're all going to go through this. This whole desire to streamline and make more efficient and clean out the junk, right? Get a clear path, ahead of us so we can see where we're going and we're not tripping over things and making problems for ourselves. Even if this is just a small scale sort of endeavor for it, like literally you're just cleaning out a closet or your garage because suddenly you just feel like you just need to do that, right? Or you need to go scrub some old pots you forgot you had, or get rid of some stuff that you just didn't need anymore. If you do this with the intention and the presence of mind to think about long-term projects, right? What are our long-term goals here? How will this benefit, or how can I use this to play into a long-term goal for myself, right? How can I make this work for the big picture? You're going to find you're going to get a whole lot more out of this than you thought possible, or you could have imagined for yourself. So use this time energetically and enthusiastically, because there's a lot of really good stuff that can come out of this. Okay. Now, also too, just wanted to remind you guys, in case I didn't already say it, the full moon, so the full moon that we're taking on the 23rd, where are we? Yes, the full moon on the 23rd. So the full moon on the 23rd is going to be an Aquarius full moon, and it's not going to be, the quarter moon is the one you got to watch. The full moon, it's not going to be a big deal. Which is not to say that people who are normally unsettled or destabilized by lunar cycles are not going to be unsettled or destabilized. It will not be any more different than normal, even though Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is in square to Saturn, and everybody's like, ooh, Uranus ruled full moon, ooh. I mean, there could be some unexpected turns of events or some explosive things happening, and it is full moon, and it is an blah blah blah. But in terms of potency, and portent, that quarter moon has got it all over it. That full moon is just going to be like icing on the cake. It's literally going to be like a decoration on a wedding cake. Like the cake is done, right? The cake, by the time we get to the full moon, the cake is baked and it is decorated. The only thing left to do is put the decorations on top, and that's going to be our full moon. So we can expect some fun stuff with a full moon, but nothing particularly unusual. What is important about this full moon is that it will be setting up, you ready? It will be clearly setting up the themes for August and November. Actually, the entire month of July is setting up the themes for August and November. But this full moon in particular is going to make it really clear what some of those themes might be or what is involved. So this full moon will give us a much better, clear picture of why July is important for the month of August and November. So we're seeing a replay and a continuation. So it's the May eclipses, right? That's connecting to the month of July, and July is setting up the themes for August and November. So let's watch how these things go. And in July, it's that full moon is going to give us the best clear image or snapshot of how this is all connected to each other. So let's see what that's about. So this has been your July horoscope. And just to recap, the most important thing is this month is very much about endurance and finishing what you started. So remember, we're in it now. Like you've got to stay the course. Whatever it is that you've started, you've got to stay the course. And luckily, staying the course only means getting to the other side of the month. So just like going through a mountain, right? Now that you've started blasting a hole in the mountain to kind of go through it, you can't stop midway. You can't change your mind halfway through and say, no, I'm having doubts about this. No, you must push through until you get to the other side of the mountain, or everything's going to collapse around you, and you will not only have failed to get to the other side of the mountain, but you will have effectively created an obstacle that is permanent and will never allow you to get to the other side of that mountain again. So stay the course. Be in it to win it. Finish what you started. Just get through the month. Just get through the month. And the only other thing I'm going to say as a caveat is if you're the only thing this does not apply to is if you're involved in things that are heinous, hateful, or just stupid. And the problem is, I'm saying this, and if this is you, you probably don't even realize it's you. So if you're not sure if this applies to you, like I would probably say, maybe ask. Well, maybe not your friends. They're probably with you. I don't know. Well, but you know what I mean. So people who are involved in activities that are heinous, hateful, or stupid, and the worst, the ones that don't realize that they're being heinous, hateful, and stupid, are going to suffer the worst from this activity and would best be served by stopping what they're doing and, in fact, changing our mind and not pushing forward with this. Because the karmic penalties and consequences of their actions are going to be significantly worse than anybody could have predicted, especially as we get into August and November. Because the thing to remember is that this month, especially with the full moon, we're setting up themes for later, which is going to be August, November. That's where the full moon is important. This whole month is setting up themes that are going to be repeated or tie into the months of August and November. When we get to August, the wheels are now in motion. Things are going to start moving. Everything that we set up prior to August, those wheels are going to be set in motion. The train is moving down the tracks, and there's no stopping it. It will just go. So, with that said, we will see the results of this most clearly and with the greatest impact in August and November. But there's no reversing it at that point. Like, you're just going to deal with what you deal with. So for those of you who are fighting the good fight, stay the course. Stay the course. For those of you who are being heinous, hateful, and stupid, well, I mean, you probably don't know or care that you're being heinous, hateful, or stupid. So God bless you. And, I hope Jesus has time to listen to your crying and whining come August, November when all this stuff comes down. So there's that. July is the words I would give you for July, and the things that you should think about when we think about the commitments that we're making to what we're doing, is July is a month of being unforgiving, intractable, fixed, and hard. So things that have been set into motion prior to July are now in place. You must stay the course, because trying to reverse courses or do anything else is going to break the system. It's going to make things worse. It's going to make things even worse than they were before you started. Unless you're being heinous, hateful, and stupid, which is a whole other animal entirely. Okay. So here's to July. It's going to be a fast month. First half of the month is going to be very, very busy and entertaining for those who are witnesses and observers, not so entertaining for people who are participants or recipients of the little explosions of truth that are happening everywhere. Second half of July is very productive, so this is going to be an important energetic time for sorting it out, cleaning it out, making things more efficient and streamlining, and really having a plan, making the plan and getting it set up so that you can execute the plan in August. So use this time wisely. And again, the theme this month, as with all months, but especially this month, is you're going to have to weigh, cost benefit when it comes to your decisions. Is this something that's only an inconvenience to you but protects the group? Or is this something that's a huge detriment to you and is of minimal inconvenience to the group? If it's a choice between you and the group and the cost to you is less than the cost to the group, then you're going to have to protect yourself. You're going to have to make decisions on the side of the group. That's the only way to get through this month safely. Okay, so that's it. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment box below. As always, there will be a report card next month about what we saw happen or transpire this month, with the dates we picked out for the month. And that's it. If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, share. We've got the Britney Spears series of videos coming up. We're still finishing up the Jennifer Lopez videos, and watch for events around her this month, right? Her and Banks. They both took this 19 Gemini eclipse, so that's kicking up dust for them this month too. And I guess that's it. Talk to you guys later.